So, the basic property of an electric charge are that they are additive, they obey conservation, they obey quantization. According to electrical nature of substance, the substances are classified as good conductor, the bad conductor, that is insulators and semiconductors. However, there is a fourth variety that is called superconductors. That is a very special case of a substance. So it is not discussed at this stage, it will be discussed in the later classes. The smaller unit of charge are microcoulombs, the millicoulombs, and the nanocoulombs. Moreover, if 1 ampere current is flowing for 1 second in any cross section of conductor, that means that 1 coulomb charge is flowing in that conductor. Current I is represented as I is equal to Q by T. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb over 1 second. However, Q is equal to NE, so I can be written as NE over T, and we can make the subject of equation N, that is N is equal to IT over E. If I is 1 ampere, T is 1 second, electronic charge is 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Then we can estimate the value of the number of electrons which are found to be 6.25 10 to the power 18 electrons. So if 6.25 10 to the power 18 electrons are flowing for 1 second, then it means that 1 ampere is current is flowing in that system. The smaller unit of current is microampere and milliampere. Microamperes will be 10 to the power minus 6 amperes and milliamperes will be 10 to the power minus 3 amperes. And the next, now we come towards the concept of permittivity. Permittivity is symbolically represented as epsilon, epsilon naught, and epsilon r. Three symbols are given. Epsilon r is the relative permittivity or the dielectric constant or specific inductive capacity of medium. Epsilon naught is absolute permittivity of the medium. Epsilon naught is different for different mediums. That is, if the medium will change, epsilon naught will also change. Permittivity, epsilon is permittivity of the medium. It is defined as the product of epsilon naught and epsilon r, which is written in the next portion. That is, epsilon is epsilon r into epsilon naught. Epsilon and epsilon naught have same units, that is farad per meter or coulomb square per Newton meter square. N stands for Newton, and whenever we use the term free space, it means we are referring to air or vacuum, and dielectric constant or epsilon r is the ratio of permittivity to the absolute permittivity. Epsilon r has no unit, it is a dimensionless constant. For different mediums, epsilon r varies from 1 to 80 or maximum 81. So, epsilon r is minimum, that is 1 for air or vacuum, and epsilon r is maximum 80 or 81 for water. The range of dielectrics is 1 to 80 or 1 to 81. But the range of permittivity for the different mediums vary from 1 to 10, and 10 stands for titanium oxide. Epsilon r is always calculated with respect to epsilon naught, and epsilon naught is different for different mediums, and epsilon naught is minimum for air medium. The values notified here. Epsilon r for air is 1 with respect to epsilon naught for air. Epsilon naught for air is 8.854 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square or farad per meter. If we wanted to estimate permittivity of air, we have to take the product of two numbers, and permittivity of air is found to be less than 1. But for other mediums, epsilon is greater than 1 or equal to 1, and it varies up to 10. Permittivity is defined as the power of conduction of electrical lines of forces depending upon electrical properties of medium, whether medium is good conductor, an insulator, or a semiconductor. Well, so now in the given table, we have shown that permittivity of good conductor is greater than that of semiconductor, and for semiconductor, it is greater than that of insulators. The semiconductors are classified into two categories. One of them is intrinsic or pure semiconductor, which are supposed to be germanium and silicon. They are supposed to be the fourth group elements, that is metalloids. Whereas extrinsic semiconductors are supposed to be impure semiconductors, and they are classified as p-type extrinsic semiconductor and n-type extrinsic semiconductors. The impurities belong to either third group of periodic table or the fifth group of periodic table. The third group of periodic table, the impurities will be aluminium, the boron, the indium, and the fifth group impurities that will be taken as phosphorus or arsenic. Moreover, the process of adding impurity is known as doping, and doping ratio is 10 to the power 6 is to 1. That is, in 10 to the power 6 parts of pure semiconductor, only one part of impurity is added. When impurity is added, it means free electrons are added in pure semiconductor. Now, when we add impurity, it means we are referring to that we are adding free electrons. Larger the number of free electrons added, larger will be the conduction of material. One part of impurity means that the order of number of free electrons added are nearly 10 to the power 22. Intrinsic semiconductors, like in the table it is shown that intrinsic semiconductors are added with suitable impurity, and in that case we will get extrinsic semiconductor. So intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor are germanium or silicon, and suitable impurities belong to third or fifth group of periodic table. So when these impurities are added, we are getting extrinsic semiconductor, which are of two types. One is p-type and other is n-type. If we consider germanium and silicon like pure semiconductors, and if we add third group impurity like aluminium, boron or silicon, we find that there is formation of p-type extrinsic semiconductor. But in germanium or silicon, if we add fifth group impurity like phosphorus and arsenic, we will get n-type extrinsic semiconductor. N-type extrinsic semiconductors are more conductive as compared to p-type extrinsic semiconductors. In case of N-type, 5 free electrons are added per atom, and in p-type, only 3 free electrons are added per atom. The more details of semiconductors will be explained in the last chapter. PSC are generally, pure semiconductors are generally metalloids, the fourth group elements. PSC means pure semiconductor. The smallest unit of energy is supposed to be electron volt, and the bigger multiples are kilo electron volt and million electron volt. 1 electron volt is supposed to be 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 joule, whereas 1 kilo electron volt is supposed to be 1000 electron volts or 10 to the power 3 electron volts. 1 million electron volt is 10 to the power 6 electron volts. Similarly, the units of electrical energy and thermal energy are respectively the kilowatt hours and calories, or it can be joules. 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 10 to the power 6 joules. 1 kilowatt hour means 1 unit of electricity or 1 board of trade unit. 1 calorie means 4.2 joules approximately, but 1 calorie is 4.18 joules experimentally. This can be verified from Joule's experiment. The electrical work or electrical energy is given by the function E is equal to W or Q into V, that is charge into voltage. So energy is taken as 1 joule, charge is taken as 1 coulomb, potential difference is taken as 1 volt. So wherever we write coulomb volt, it will be joule. So coulomb volt stands for joule. However, Q is equal to NE, and N is given as plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. Now, energy of work is the same thing. Therefore, E is equal to W, and W will be equal to NEV. In the above equation where we have written Q into V, Q is replaced by NE. If N is 1, then energy or work done is 1 EV, or it can be written as E multiplied by 1 V. 1 EV is equal to E multiplied 1 V, but E is equal to 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Therefore, E is equal to W is equal to 1 EV, that is equal to electron charge into 1 volt, and that is 1 EV is equal to 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 joules. 1 electron volt is 1.6 10 to the power minus 12 ergs, because 1 joule is 10 to the power 7 ergs. 1 electron volt is the energy gained by electron while moving across 1 volt of potential difference. After that, we will discuss about electrical power, electrical energy. However, these facts are again discussed in current electricity, but at this stage, we have to solve some problems. So, for those problems, we discuss these formulas. Power is work by time or energy by time. P stands for power. Energy or work is the product of power and time. That is 1 joule is equal to 1 watt into 1 second, or 1 joule is equal to 1 over 1000 kilowatts into 1 over 3600 hours. So now we can cross multiply the number, and 1 kilowatt hour will be 36 into 10 to the power 5 joules, or 1 kilowatt hour, that is 1 unit of electricity, will be 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. The smallest unit of mass can be taken as AMU, that is atomic mass unit. One atomic mass unit that is taken as 1 over n, where n is called Avogadro's number. Done as 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms per gram atom. Gram atom means mole of the atoms. If we would have been written here the gram electrons, they would have been mole of the electrons. So it is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms per mole of atoms. But in MKS dimensions, n will be 6.023 10 to the power 26 atoms per kilogram atom. Or it can be written as 6.023 10 to the power 26 atoms per kilomole. AMU is used for representing very, very small mass like that of electrons mass, proton masses, neutron masses, or the masses of atoms and molecules and other subatomic particles. Energy and mass are convertible according to equation is equal to mc square. Mass is convertible to energy and energy is convertible to mass. One atomic mass unit is calculated by function 1 over n, where n stands for Avogadro number. We put the value and we come to conclusion that 1 AMU will be 1.66 10 to the power minus 24 grams. CGS value. 1 AMU is 1 over n, and n can be taken as 6.23 into 10 to the power 26 atoms per kilogram atoms. So we can prove it that 1 AMU is 1.66 10 to the power minus 27 kilograms. Now 1 AMU is known to us. Now AMU can be represented in form of energy, that is million electron volts. So in the equation E is equal to mc square, m can be taken as 1 AMU, which is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. C stands for velocity of light in free space, and 1 eV is equal to 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 joule. C stands for velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So, if we wanted to calculate energy, that is E is equal to mc square, then we can put in the equation the value of mass, which is 1.66 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. This mass we have taken equivalent to 1 AMU because we are interested to find the energy equivalent to 1 atomic mass unit. So energy we have calculated in joules. Then after taking the multiples, we have come to conclusion that if we take the mass as 1 atomic mass unit, the energy will become 14.94 into 10 to the power minus 11 joule. The value of 1 MeV is known to us, 10 to the power 6 electron volts. So 1 MeV can be written as 1.6 10 to the power minus 13 joules. Calculations are shown, and it is indicated that for 1 atomic mass unit, the energy will be 933.7 million electron volts if the calculation is done right up to 2 places of decimal. If calculation is done up to 6 place of decimal, then 1 AMU will be 931.4 million electron volts.